This administration from the start has been really committed to seeing wrongful detainees come home from around the world, not just from Russia. But it doesn't give them the power just to make that happen. They can't just wave a magic wand, regardless of what level of commitment is here.
Brittney Griner will be home for the holidays with her family. The United States is still working to free other Russian prisoners, including former Marine Paul Whelan. Whelan's family was notified ahead of Griner's release. NBC News reports, quote, the Kremlin ultimately gave the White House the choice of either Griner or no one after different options were proposed. Let's discuss with former New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson, who runs an organization specifically focused on releasing U.S. prisoners in other countries. He was part of the effort to get Brittney Griner released. Governor, it is good to see you. I'm hoping you can draw back the curtain for us. What can you tell us about how we got here?
Well, you got to give the White House credit and the president's team, the National Security Council, that basically have been pushing very hard with combinations to get both Whelan and Griner with options. But then in the end, I think it was Putin who didn't want to give the president a victory and decided that it was just going to be Griner. Now, this is unfortunate because I've been working on these cases like for Whelan for about 4 years in the Trump administration proposing alternatives. Now, I'm not negotiating directly. I call myself a catalyst pushing both sides, meeting both sides, went to Russia twice, met with the embassy in Washington, met with White House officials who I think did a good job, especially John Feiner at the National Security Council. But this is good news. She's going home to her parents. Very effective public media campaign by her attorney, her representative, her spouse, her father, the WNBA. So they should get some credit for this, too.
Absolutely. We're going to be talking with one of them in just a minute. You know, it is our sense, of course, that Russia is watching how this is received at home. To what degree and what is it that they are watching for?
Well, obviously, they know that Brittney Griner was an icon, a basketball star, an African-American woman with a huge following. So obviously, the Russians wanted to get something substantial in return. And they did with Victor Bout, who's a very bad guy. I know a lot of people are making excuses. He served 11 years, that he wasn't a security threat. No, he's a bad guy. But you have to make deals like this to get American hostages back, our military, innocent people wrongfully detained like Paul Whelan. So, you know, this is the ugly side of diplomacy. But at the same time, the fact that this deal was made humanitarian, prison to prison, despite the terrible relationship we have with Russia right now, indicates I'm an optimist. I think we're going to get Paul Whelan out, and I think it'll be sooner than later. I've said by the end of this year, I took a gamble. We got Trevor Reed, a Marine, out about 4 months ago in an exchange with Russia. Now Brittney Griner, and then Whelan, and there's several others. Alicia, there's about 3 others we're working on, Americans that are detained in Russia, including a POW named Grody Karpasi in the Russian occupied section of Ukraine. So, you know, the task, and I think the Whelan family have been remarkably resilient. They've been gracious, patient, but I feel for Paul. But I think the news soon will be good. I'm an optimist, and I think he'll be out.
Right. Back in October, early October, you didn't want to prognosticate, but you did say that you were cautiously optimistic that they would both be out by the end of this year. Where do the efforts then to bring Whelan home go from here? Well,
there's a channel that the White House has with the Russians that is a very official, secretive channel. I don't want to get into deliberations on the multiple options that have been proposed, but I do think that it's going to be another prisoner exchange for Paul Whelan. The Russians are tough negotiators. They're not going to give him up for free. So we should expect negotiations center on prisoner exchange individuals that the Russians want. Now, Putin looks good with his constituency in Russia because he got booed out. So, and President Biden has done a good job, and it's worked out well to bring Brittany home. But we can't forget the Marine. We can't forget the military guy who's not as glamorous as Brittany. So we full speed ahead. The government and private groups like mine, we work together, but I don't work for the government. They don't tell me what to do. And so we're going to continue our efforts, cooperating with our government that has done a good job. But at the same time, we work for the families, my foundation, the families of hostages. They're the ones that we respond to. So in the days ahead, we got to go full speed ahead and try to make that goal by the end of the year of have Paul Whelan and other Americans in Russia, but also, Alicia, there's some in Iran. There's 4 there. There's 4 in Venezuela. We've got about 60 around the world. We should bring all our hostages home. But it's going to cost. It's not going to be easy. But let's concentrate now on Whelan and see if we can bring him home to his family and to his country.
Former Governor Bill Richardson, thank you so much for making time for us tonight.